Oh my God, this is gonna be so f***ing hard. It tastes like manure. This is f***ing gross. Why am I doing the blind taste test? So basically, my brother Chris got really into coffee like a year or so ago. He started going to these like coffee conventions and started taking coffee like way too seriously. And I'd come home talking about Southdown. I found this new spot, love it, it's so good. Every coffee there is single origin, blah, blah, blah. And he kind of looked at me like I was crazy, and he would always say, you know, my coffee is better than that, or my coffee is just as good. And basically I told him, I was like, you can drink all the fancy coffee you want. I still think Trader Joe's coffee is the best cup. And when I would obviously taste his coffee all the time, I knew that wasn't the case. So Mike said to me one day, probably a year, maybe 2 years ago, I bet you if we blindfolded you, we put my coffee in front of you and Southdown coffee in front of you, you wouldn't know the difference. And I adamantly said that he was wrong. At the core of it, it's, can a normal person tell the difference between a premium cup of coffee and a regular cup of coffee? And obviously, there's so many different types of coffee out there. On the low end, you have a Dunkin Donuts type, which is just utter trash. And then you have like a Southdown on the high end. So I'm kind of saying that when you get to the high end, I just don't think there's that big of a difference. And that's what I'm looking to prove with this blind taste test. I like to look at coffee as almost like a performance-enhancing drug. Yeah, me too. It is a performance-enhancing drug. It is a drug. It's a drug. It makes you live longer. It makes you focus better. Makes your metabolism speed up. It's a diuretic, you know. And if used properly, you know, you can really get some amazing results out of coffee. That's also part of why I'm so like against milk and sugar, because I almost use it as a supplement. So when people are using milk and sugar and adding a donut on top of it, it's like, what are you doing? Like you're just counteracting. You're just all the good benefits of coffee. You're just counteracting to make it almost like neutral. Yeah, and the one thing I will say that you said to me a very long time ago was that technically speaking, coffee is not only black coffee is not only a 0-calorie drink, but it's actually a negative calorie drink because it's 0 calories, but it also suppresses your appetite. So and boosts your metabolism. So if you're drinking coffee, you're going to eat less, have energy, and getting 0 calories in. I think I'm gonna do well, you know. I mean, of course, I woke up with a little bit of a sickness, so I'm a little cold, I have a little phlegm. Taste buds, I don't know how my taste buds are right now. They're a little off. Mike's, I think, in Mike's heart of hearts, I think Mike knows what a good cup of coffee is. He's got the mind, he's got the tongue for it. We're doing Starbucks, Dunkin, Southdown, and Trader Joe's. And I've never had Dunkin Donuts hot coffee, so I have not prepared for this on any level. Gun to Mike's head, he's going to Southdown 10 out of 10 times. I think it's a little bit of hubris. I think it's a little bit of pride in his cup of coffee. He makes a solid cup, but there's a reason that there's a line out the door at Southdown and they're charging $3.50, $4 a cup of coffee. And the reason is because it's premium and it's better coffee than Mike makes from his Folgers or his Maxwell or his Trader Joe's or whatever he's telling you he's cooking up today. What do you think's gonna win?
I feel like Mike will win. I think Chris is overly confident, so that kind of makes me feel like he's actually not gonna get it.
I think I'm going 4 for 4. I have extreme confidence.
And I'm really just rooting for Mike.
Yeah, right there. This one's very watered down. Okay. It's very watered down. All right, so now that's cup 1, Mike. So I'm gonna say order. So cup 1, what do you think cup 1 is? It's so watered down. What do you think cup 1 is? I've never had Dunkin hot, so it's really. You gotta go now. You gotta go. Cup 1, what do we think? In order, because the only way it's gonna be easy for viewers. Cup 1, rank it, and what do you think it is? I gotta go Starbucks, and I'm gonna say it's not great, it's watered down, but I'm gonna Starbucks. Not great, watered down. Okay. I'm gonna say this one just tastes like pure shit. Doesn't taste good. Okay. Just doesn't taste good. So what do you think it is? Dunkin. Okay, Dunkin. Starbucks now cup 1, Dunkin cup 2, all right. Cup 3. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say this one's the Trader Joe's. It's a great cup. It's a great cup. It's got good notes. Good notes.
Great cup.
Good notes. I think Dunkin' Donuts is trash. I mean, let's put that on the record. I think Dunkin' Donuts is probably the worst cup of coffee that you could buy for like under $4. Jesus. This is the Southdown.
And this is the Southdown, okay?
It's a good cup. I don't know. You know,
if you had to
I
rank
know
them-
this is Southdown. I know this is
And
Southdown.
if you had to rank them,
So one on.
so you think cup 3 is number 1?
Yeah, the Trader Joe's.
Okay.
Then this is number 2. This one I said was the worst, and then this one all the way over here is.
You just rip it off the top there. All right, you said Dunkin' Donuts was number 1. You said Dunkin'
No!
was number 1. You said you were correct at Southdown.
I knew this
number
was
2.
Southdown.
You Starbucks, you were correct. Number 3, and you said the dog shit. The dog shit was your own home brew.
Did I seriously say Dunkin' was number
He said
1?
Dunkin' was number 1.
Oh
coffee. Let him hear that. Dunkin' is number
Oh
1
my God.
coffee. He is a Dunkin' guy. Smile for the camera, because you're a Dunkin' guy. That guy at Dunkin' was a good barista.
He's a good barista.
I drink coffee every single day, most days twice a day, trying to slide some tea in there for that second cup. My favorite cup right now is Southdown coffee in Huntington, New York. The difference between Southdown and a lot of other coffee spots, Southdown actually roasts their own coffee. So the owner of Southdown and the staff there, they'll fly out to Colombia, to Ethiopia, to different countries. They'll actually go to the farm. They'll visit the families or the people who actually work and get the coffee beans. They fly them back home, and then they roast the coffee on site at their location. That's a huge difference between most coffee spots, where most places are just buying from different wholesalers here or there. They are the roaster, they are the wholesaler. So a lot of the different restaurants and coffee spots, on Long Island in New York that you go to, a lot of them are actually serving Southdown coffee.
I think it's pretentious. I think he is very pretentious. I think there's a lot of people out there who are very pretentious with their coffee views, and I think that you don't have to go too far or spend that much money to get a great cup of coffee.
Okay, I'm gonna go Trader Joe's Mike.
I wish you had like a palate cleanser. They usually use coffee as a palate cleanser. Like when you're like smelling colognes, you sniff coffee in between, and that like cleanses your palate.
This is delicious coffee right here. There's no f***ing question as to what this is. Shout out to Southdown, single origin. I would love to just stay at this station, but I have to move on. This tastes like manure. This is f***ing gross. This has got, I mean, it's Dunkin' or Mike's. Cup 3, Dunkin'. Cup 4, Starbucks. Starbucks being the second best cup. Cup 2 best, cup 4 second best. Out of 1 and 3, it's a toss up. I'll give you 3, then 1. Okie dokie.
So yeah, you went 4 for 4.
Yeah! Yeah! 4 for 4, mother.
Yeah, you went 4 for 4.
I knew it. I knew
I
it.
mean, I guess.
Wow, by far the best. Then a real second best here.
Could be the Chemex process.
Woo.
Use the cardboard paper. I probably should use the white paper.
But that's your whole thing. That was your whole thesis, that it didn't matter, that the extra lengths that Southdown goes to make this the best cup of coffee isn't worth the time or the money. And my hypothesis served true. It is worth the extra 30 cents for this cup of coffee because it is by far superior. You did terrible and your coffee did terrible.
Tough mixing up the Dunkin' with the Trader Joe's. Tough.
Rank Dunkin' number 1. Fuck hard.
Tough look.
You
No,
ranked
I
Dunkin'
didn't.
number 1.
I didn't rank him number 1.
You didn't?
I ranked Southdown. Oh, did I rank Dunkin'
You
number 1?
ranked Dunkin'
Yeah,
number 1.
tough look.
You ranked Dunkin' number 1. You're a Dunkin' guy.
Tough look.
All right, so as expected, I called that I'd go 4 for 4. I went 4 for 4. Southdown, instantly as I tasted it, I knew it was Southdown. If you remember, Mike
bashed Dunkin and then said Dunkin was the best. So I think when you kind of look at him and hear his sense on coffee and his opinion on coffee, just remember that. What does he really know about coffee? Can he brew coffee? Does he have any clue what he's talking about when it comes to coffee whatsoever? I'll put the links for everything we used in the description. Everything you see here, everything will all be in the description. But once again, thanks for watching.